What's up, everyone? My name is Kendall Key, and I am the creator of the Recovery Meth podcast. This podcast was created to share my journey of recovery, faith, and life with all of y'all that will listen in hopes to inspire and entice some self-reflection. And I hope to do that. Again, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. It is season 2, and there has been a lot that has been going on in my life. And first off, I just want to say glory to God for all the changes. And they've been happening rather quickly than slowly. And first off, I have a career change. I've been doing marketing for quite some time at Blue Sage. And I recently got a new role as the site manager. So basically, I oversee all the day-to-day operations of our Chandler campus, which is a huge and different responsibility than what I was used to doing the marketing. But I'm very fortunate and I'm very blessed to have had this opportunity presented to me. And I've been with this company since day one, literally cleaning out the cobwebs from the room, sweeping it out, mopping it out, and just to see how much it has expanded and grown. It is truly, truly amazing. So that's been like a huge shift for me in my career. And in my personal life, I am in the beginning stages of a relationship, and I am tripping out because I did not plan for this, and it just happened. And it's a lot. It's seriously a lot. There's a lot of emotions and new feelings that are brought out. There really is, and I've been talking to, some friends, co-workers of mine, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. With me and where I'm at in my recovery, I am going to be 3 years on the 26th of August. 3 years clean and sober. Now, mind you, that I have been using since I was 13 years old. So that huge chunk of my life is nothing but alcohol and drugs. So when I was actually sober in my, the beginning of my teenage years, I never dated anyone. I never went out with anyone. And the first relationship I had was during a high point in my alcoholism, and that happened so quick. Like literally, maybe 2 months of talking with each other. I ended up going out to New Mexico, and ended up literally moving in with him and his family. And 3 years of boozing and just a lot. So that's kind of all I'm going off of. Since then, I have not had a relationship, and that's been over a decade ago. Other than that, it's just kind of been a lot of promiscuity, a lot of, basically just one night stands, a lot of that. Come on now, my drug of choice was meth, and it's like, I think those go kind of hand in hand. And, that's not what I want. But that's all my life has been full of. So how do I break that? How do I allow somebody into my life on a deeper level? How do I get to open up to somebody, and how do I get to know somebody on a deeper level? That's kind of where I'm at, and I'm learning again. It's just my life and everything that I have experienced That's kind of all I have to go off of. My mother was a single parent, so I didn't get to see relationship dynamics within a household. My father, when I did meet him, when I did move in with him, it was, there was some domestic violence. I'll admit that. Some things that I witnessed in a marriage that ended up in divorce. And I don't want that either. So truthfully, I don't have that guidance, that role model of relationship dynamics to really go off of. Other than that, it's just kind of like what society tells you it should be like and what you can see in movies. So it's a trip. Like this whole season of my life has been absolutely interesting, and all I can say is I am doing my best, and I know that in this moment I am enough. I am enough, and I'm gonna do my best. So I am literally going into this fresh. Like I have nothing to base it off of. This is my first sober relationship with someone else in my entire life. And there are moments, I kid you not, there are moments when I'm on top of the world. And I'll be honest, at the same time, I have those moments when I get consumed by anxiety, insecurities. Am I good enough? Is this what this person even likes? It's just, man, it is a huge battle within myself. Truthfully speaking, one of the things I do not feel comfortable with, or one of the things that bug in a way, I guess would be one of the things, I don't know how else to say it, but one of the things is vulnerability. I do not like being vulnerable with somebody else, and it's not received as the way I feel it should be. That just leaves like this huge open, like there's like a huge hole that I just opened up from myself to somebody else, and it's like, it's kind of like, not you get shut down, but it wasn't received the way that you intended. So that is something that I know I don't like, and something that I am working on. It's like taking a gamble. It's taking a chance. It's like, what? Hey, I'm going to let you into my life and let you know this part about me, and let you know this is how I feel and all this other stuff. And sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's amazing. Other times it's like, what the heck was I thinking? What did I just do? And it's just, man, I swear, this is amazing, and at the same time it is so confusing. It is just so confusing because it's entirely new, and I am just taking it one day at a time as best as I can. And again, this podcast is sharing my experience, sharing my weaknesses, my strengths, what I'm going through, and the ways that I am overcoming these, in hopes that you will find relatability, that you will find, you're not the only one going through this, or you're not the only one going through a certain situation, because hey, it's always comforting to hear somebody else that, what I'm going through, and I'm so thankful that you put it in words for me because I wasn't able to. So yeah, that's where I'm at. All I can say is I'm navigating my way through life. I'm navigating my way through my faith, my walk, and my recovery. So in so many ways, I'm learning. And it's gonna sound a little cheesy, but I believe it 100%. Progress, not perfection. So I claim that in every aspect of my life. I'm progressing. I ain't gonna have it perfect. I'll never have it perfect. And you know what? By all means, I don't want to have it perfect because I'm never gonna learn. But I'm learning. Progress over perfection. And in all things new in life, we gotta be easy on ourselves. We gotta be easy on ourselves. I gotta take it easy on myself, for those times when I do make those mistakes, because I'm always gonna make those mistakes. So if you're making mistakes in your life right now, just know that you ain't the only one. Just be easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. You know what? Because without those mistakes that are made, you ain't gonna learn anything. So be thankful for them, because I know I am. I keep telling myself, like, I got this. I don't have a blueprint. I don't have a manual to show me, okay, from this period to this period, this should happen. From this time frame to this time frame, this should happen. And I guess I'm the type of person where that would be very, very beneficial, because, if I don't know something, I swear, I turn to Google, I turn to YouTube, whatever it may be, I go to someone for advice. But I did go to somebody for advice, and, he just told me that I'm gonna feel a lot of things. I'm gonna feel things that I like, but I'm also gonna feel things that I don't like. And yeah, that's been happening. So, all I gotta say is I have a good guy. He's solid in his recovery. He's doing his program, and I swear every time I see him, like, I just light up. And it's great. I'm learning about myself, because this relationship is bringing up feelings or character defects that I had forgotten I had, because during my recovery time, I have not had a situation, or I have not had a relationship that would bring those out. And now it's like, I'm working on it. I really am. And I'm just so thankful for everything, because, it's the highs, the lows, and this is all new to me. I don't know if you can relate, or, you got some advice to share, but I am all ears. But it is all new. I wholeheartedly want to respect this individual with everything and be patient. Now, mind you, again, this is my first sober relationship, and I honestly don't know what take it slow means, because again, my last relationship, we were living together within 2 months, and I know that's not what I want with this one. I want to take my time, but I don't know what that looks like, because I have nothing to base it off of. But I'm navigating my way through it, and this is definitely something. This relationship is definitely a new change in my life. So I have a career change, which comes with new responsibilities, new stress, just everything new. I have a new relationship, and I'm trying to quit smoking. And a lot of people have been telling me that I need to quit, and I know deep down that I do need to quit. I went out to Las Vegas this past weekend just to get out and kind of get some headspace and all of that. It kind of didn't work out that way. But nonetheless, I enjoyed every single minute of it. Like, I had to keep grounding myself, and there's so many times, like, during those times, like, I had to pray. I lost count, honestly, but I just kept saying, you know what, God, here are some thoughts that I'm having. I don't want them. I don't need them. Take them from me, because, I need to be thinking any type of way. Like, my mind had just been everywhere, and basically I inflicted my own self-torment. And again, I'm trying to quit smoking, and we stayed near the strip. So the nearest place for me to look for one of those little blue branded vapes, it's like 2.4% menthol or nicotine. That's what I was using to wean myself off. And I walked 2.5 miles which reminded me of my tweaker days being on a mission. But I found a little cheapy version of it. It wasn't the one I was looking for, but I still got it because I didn't want to buy cigarettes because I'm trying to quit. So a lot of good that helped me because it lasted maybe 2 hours and it died out on me. And we're down the strip. Every smoke shop that I went into, every convenience store, even CVS, they did not carry the blue brand. They carried more expensive, I guess the high-end type of vapes that are like $40-$50. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to invest that much in it, especially since my sobriety date is August 26th. So by August 26th, I want to do away with smoking and nicotine entirely. So that's my goal right there. But because I couldn't find what I was looking for, I ended up buying a pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm not sure if this is correct, but essentially I relapsed when it comes to me trying to quit smoking. But August 26th, my goal is to be completely free of nicotine substances, whether that be through vape, cigarettes, patch, gum, and all of that. So it's still something that I'm working towards. And yeah, there's just been a lot of interesting things that have been happening in my life right now. And I went to an NA meeting last week, and it was a speaker meeting. And this lady was talking about how she is 33 years clean and sober. And the part that stuck out to me was when she said, on some days it's fun to be me. On other days, I don't like myself. And she also said, life, some days is messy, straight up messy. Other days, I have it all figured out. And that really touched me because I think for the past almost 3 years, I kind of got into a place where I felt like I had everything figured out. I had nothing else to work on when it comes to myself and in my recovery because I had it all figured out. When it came to work, I had it all figured out because I had been doing the marketing for this company for the past 2 years. And it's amazing because, I pray for, one of the things that I pray for is for growth as a person, growth spiritually. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what form it's going to come in, but I know that my prayers are answered. And it could be a career change that was unexpected to help me grow as a person, to help me grow into new realms that I didn't think I would actually be getting into, to bring a relationship into my life because, I need to grow as an individual person, but I also need to see in what areas of my life I need to grow. And I also, I'm not bragging, but I told one of my coworkers about this relationship, and they told me, you know what? You deserve it because you have so much love to give. You have so much love to give, and you're just such a genuinely nice person. And I would honestly say that's true. God has blessed me I would like to think that God blessed me with this relationship in the beginning stages right now, to find areas of myself that I need to work on still, but also to exude and, allow what he has showed me about love to exude that same essence with this person, to share that love with this person, because, it's just an amazing journey. And again, I don't know, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I love the fact that that speaker at the NA meeting said, some days she's got it all figured out. Other days she don't know what the heck she is doing, because I'm like that. I have those days when I know everything. I got this all figured out. You know what? Bam, bam, bam. Everything's done. I have those days when I am essentially crapping bricks because I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. And for me right now, it's just an experience. It is an amazing experience, and I wasn't ready for it. But one thing that I do want to touch up on is acceptance. You know what? On those days when it's not fun to be me, or on those days when I am self-inflicting my self-torment, those are the days that I can honestly say I am trying to take back my will and do what I want. And me being in recovery, I'll tell you, everything that I had done was destructive. Everything had been destructive, whether it be with stealing from others, manipulating others, manipulating myself to get into situations that I knew were bad for me. There's so many elements of that. And that's what I know. Like that's my will. But, you know, if I turn it over to God, I have that peace. I have that peace, that serenity. And I will tell you, I love that serenity because it makes life so much easier. And on some days I battled with that. I still have those battles where I'm fighting for that serenity. And one of the things that I heard at another CA convention was the speaker was talking about acceptance. Acceptance is something that she has to practice to get through the day. Other than that, if we're not able to accept situations as they should be or as they are, man, that is a dangerous place to be. And sometimes I find myself there, whether it be, personal things, family things, career things, whatever it may be, or even sometimes myself. I have those days when I am fighting and I am struggling for that serenity, that peace, that acceptance. And it's like when I was out in Vegas, I fought with myself so much. I lost count of how much I prayed, but at the end of the day, I finally gave up and said, you know what, God, I just give up. Like I entirely just give up, because right now I am struggling with myself and I am trying to, have my will. I'm trying to sit in the driver's seat and do everything on my own because I feel like I have it all figured out. And if I don't have it figured out, I'm going to figure it out. Like right now is when I want to figure it out. And man, but you know how calming it was just to give up. And I don't mean it like you're giving up on life type of thing, but just to give up and give that over to God, to just let go. Sometimes that is the most difficult thing to do. It's just that acceptance. And you know what, God, right now I am powerless and I give up. I'm trying to take the driver's seat and I don't want it. I don't need it because I'm going to crash and burn. And I just felt this spirit lift off me, like everything just kind of calmed. I was just like, all right, you know what? Back into the moment, not thinking about past experiences, not trying to think up of future experiences, but it just brought me back into the moment. Maybe you're in a situation like that, or maybe you can understand, or maybe you're going through some situations similar to mine, or you know how it feels to struggle with yourself, to let go and let God. That really does sound so simple, but I think it's just like the worldly side of myself sometimes, where I'm like, no, I got this, I can do it, and yeah, ultimately I just need to practice acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It just means, you know what, I'm gonna let go and let God. It doesn't mean like, I like the situation I'm in. It doesn't mean, anything like that. We get into situations where they suck. But at the end of the day, some of those situations, it's like, why stress about it? Because there's absolutely nothing we can do. Just accept, like, you know what? I'm not okay with it, but I accept this situation right now. there's so many ways that you can apply that into your life. It's just acceptance, and it's something that has to be practiced. It has to be practiced. Just like all the coping skills, the ways you overcome situations, the ways you overcome your fears, your doubts, your anxieties, whatever tools you have in your toolbox, you have got to practice them. And that's something with acceptance is, you got to practice it. I had to practice it. And, again, I'm just at a point in my life where there are changes, lots of changes, lots of new things. And, I have to practice some of these. I have to practice acceptance. I have to practice, I have to practice so many things. Like, I do a lot of self-talk. For those of you that know me, sometimes I get lost up inside my head and I have to fight to get myself back into the moment. But it's something I'm working on. It truly is. It is something that I'm working on. And for where I'm at with my spiritual walk, with my walk with Jesus, my walk with God, and my relationship with Him is, God's timing. God's timing is dead on. It is when He feels we are ready, when He feels I am ready. He gives me pieces. He gives me, changes in my life, which are happening right now. And, all I got to do is just trust. Just trust the process. Take it one day at a time. And just know that, all things will fall into place. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. And there's purpose behind everything. There's purpose behind, every fear, every worry. There's purpose behind every triumph, every moment. And that gives me something to look forward to now that I'm saying it out loud to myself right now and to you. And I hope you find some peace in that. And I hope you find some hope in that. Just knowing that, God is moving pieces in your life that you ain't even seen yet. That He is moving pieces for your benefit, for your purpose, to get you grown as a person to where He needs you to be, so that way He can use you for His purpose. In that very same essence, He is doing that with me, and all I can do is just, trust and believe, put my hands up, accept, let go, and let God, because that is something that at the end of the day, it's His will, not mine. And that makes me think about scripture right now. So I just want to go ahead and read out of James. So it's James verse 2. So it goes on to, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Essentially, to me, this is just saying, trials will come. There are moments in life that we don't understand, when changes happen, when our whole world gets shifted to the left, to the right, up, low, down, high. But there's changes that happen in our life, and there's reason behind it. At times it hurts. At times it sucks. At times we're on top of the world and we are ready to shout out everything because we are just filled with so much joy, so much love. And sometimes it's just neutral. You're just coasting. But it's the trials that have purpose. And if we hold steadfast, we will see the other side. I will see the other side no matter what happens, because I trust and I do believe. And it's just learning to accept and learning to let go. Maybe you're in a situation like that. Maybe changes are happening in your life that you are unsure of. Well, I want to say to you, you know what? Trust and believe the process. Take it one day at a time, because it does absolutely no good if you're up in the future thinking what's going to happen in a day's time, in a week's time, in a year's time. No. Look at the blessings of today, because they're there, but you ain't gonna see them if you looking too far in the future, or if you're stuck in the past. You're gonna miss out on all the beauty that you have today, all the blessings that are right there in front of you. And that's something that I had to keep reminding myself, because every day has been an absolute blessing. And I'm so fortunate and so blessed that these changes are happening in my life, because hey, I'm growing as a person, I'm growing as a man, I'm growing as an individual, I'm growing as a child of God. I'm growing in my recovery. Man, might I say that I might actually almost be an adult. But growing pains, let's call it that. But I just want to encourage you to hold tight. Take it one day at a time. And know that not all changes are bad. Changes are scary. You may feel uncomfortable going through the changes, but try to keep your mind open and just have faith, trust the process one day at a time, and practice acceptance, because once you let go and let God, things will fall into place and it will be so amazing beyond anything that you have ever thought. So I pray that you continue on your journey, on your walk, and I hope I shared something that you can relate to, or at least enticed some self-reflection. Because if we ain't self-reflecting, well, we ain't recognizing any areas in our life that we can grow, and we should be growing each day as a person. So I pray that you continue your journey, and I will continue the Recovery Meth podcast, because you have been a part of my journey since day one. So tune in for next week's episode. Again, my name is Kendall Key, and I am the creator of the Recovery Meth podcast. Deuces.